Hello, I'm Kerry from Mobilates and I'm here with you for 30 minutes, part of Get Moving Week, which has been an amazing week from the Royal Voluntary Service, doing their virtual village hall as such a variety of classes, just been talking about what's coming up, and I'm just trying to catch in with things that are coming up during the week. You can always catch up on this Facebook feed or on their YouTube as well. So if you miss anything, right, let's get started. So you can do this standing, you can do it sitting, you can do it on the edge of the bed, because this might be your first time working with me today. We take it really gently. I've got lots of modifications for you. We're going to do something sitting or standing first, and then we'll work our way down to a lying down surface. Hiya, Irene. I'm keeping a lookout. I mean, I always go after the class. First thing I do is have a little check through. And we're going to do a bit of lying down about halfway through, and we'll do some mat-based moves. Who've we got there? Hello, Jean. Oh, lovely to see you both. Right, let's start with a little bit of breath work, because this is a mindful, sort of gentle, accessible Pilates. So we pay attention to our breath, how it feels, how everything in our body feels. So just float your hands up, breathe in. And float them down, breathe out. And then float the hands open, maybe even a little lean back and a slight look up, breathe in. And then float them down, fold in a little, breathe out. Soft belly as you breathe in. Belly comes in a little as you breathe out. And you can see my upper body's just moving gently with the breath. You don't have to follow my pattern of breathing. And go with your own inhalations and exhalations. You might want to work faster or slower. Hello, David. Off, getting all the regulars here today. And maybe you're a new person coming today. Give me a few comments at the end if you like. How you found it. We'll do one more like this. Oh, I love this bit, the chest opening. And then coming to stand. Hello, Sandra. Oh, a newbie. Very welcome to you. So we're just going to get ourselves into alignment. It's a position we try and start with and we often return to during the session. So if you're standing, your feet are your inner hip width apart. I like to imagine a plank of wood or a paperback book between my feet. That's a good way of feeling that sort of space, rather than thinking about outer hips, which often make us put our feet way too wide. If you're sitting, it's the same sort of distance. A good way to do it is just two fists between the knees and your legs are in an L shape. And you're sitting partially on your chair, not totally back, because we're going to get active. So start to tighten your belly here. And if I turn to the side, the very first thing we're going to do is put a hand on the back and the hand on the belly. So if I do it maybe that way, I'll do it both ways around. So there's me just standing. Now I'm going to try tucking my bottom under, but not tensing these muscles, tensing my belly muscles. So rather than thinking about your bottom so much, think about lengthening here. You can see from my top how it changes. Look at the hem. You can see it get longer. So lengthening the spine here. And then I'm going to take it the other way. See, gets shorter, a little bit of a curve comes in my back. I don't have a massive curve in my back. I'm just feeling that space. My belly is coming forwards, a bit like a bucket, and the water's just about to overflow here. And then that bucket straightens, longer spine. And we're just rocking between those two places. It's a small movement, you don't need to make it big. So this just helps us feel what's going on with our pelvis. We tend to move the pelvis a lot in Pilates in particular ways, rocking it back and forth. And this just gets you in that sort of zone. And knowing the shape, that's why I have the hand here and the hand on the belly. Now I've got a small belly, but it's quite a round belly. So I know the shape. So it feels full this way and it feels not so full when I go like this, and this feels flatter. And I know this curve here, it feels familiar. So now I'm going to find that in-between point. At the moment, this feels too curved for me. I know I need to do a little bit of that. And then I've got my point. It's exactly the same if you're sitting. Finding that in-between point where you can sit really upright, stand really upright, and then just give your feet just a little shifty one side to the other, spread out your toes. I know feet are often a bit chilly at the moment. You might have several pairs of socks on or slippers or shoes. That's it, just feel nice and secure, literally grounded, so you can really feel the ground. Tightening in your belly, opening up across the collarbone. You'll feel as you do that, your shoulders go back. Beautiful. Take the back of your head and the rest of your body just slightly back. It's like a rocking forwards and backwards. On your chair, you do this by hinging here. So the back stays straight. You just take it forwards and back, like you feel like you're sitting too far back, too far forward. Somewhere in between, that weight distribution changes. And then pause when you've got your spot. And we're just going to take the head on a turntable, keeping this openness here, and this stays exactly where it is. That's it. And you can go as fast or as slow as you like, just paying attention to how it feels. If it's a bit stiff, you might repeat on a few on one side. And then bring it back to the center. And then take your thoughts, your focus to the back of your head again. We've still got that almost leaning back, a little bit of a chin tuck. You know when you've got a chin tuck because you can feel the chins. Just a little arc with the back of our head. So it's like you're drawing a rainbow. If you've got paint on the back of your head, you're just drawing that little rainbow sort of arc. And then take that ear further down, but keep this beautifully straight. Spirit level. Imagine a spirit level right here in that collarbone notch. And this just stays where it is. And then bring it up. And the other way. I hope you're still breathing, by the way. It's good to breathe all the way through. Sometimes I'll give you particular times to breathe in and out that sort of enhance the movement. But otherwise, just breathing is always good. And let's give those shoulders a roll. Tend to start these fairly small and slow so you can feel what's going on. And see my arms just hanging down. Don't tend to do this and take the elbows out. Just taking it into the shoulders. Particularly what's going on in the shoulder blades at the back. That's it. And now this is where a breath is nice. So as you come up, breathe in. And then as you come to the very top and take it back, blow it out slowly. Breathing in. Breathing out. And you can see this is a good place to close your eyes if that feels safe. Last one. And then we're taking our focus to our feet. Lifting a heel up one at a time. But I'm adding extra into this. I want you to hold on to your hips here. Now, if you're sitting, you're going to have the advantage because the chair base is going to keep you nice and steady. You'll be feeling lots going on here. Your belly will be getting tighter as each knee comes up. We're just trying to keep this still if you're standing. So we're trying not to do this sort of thing. Completely still. And once you've got that, we're going to take an opposite arm up. And now we're going to swap over. Again, trying to keep those hips completely steady. So I'm really having to pull into these muscles here. I'm just tighten them. Not in a grippy type of way, just a gentle. Like there's a little bit of cold water just here. Or a cold hand. Ooh. That's one of my favourite ways to get the feeling. Because you know what it's like when someone puts a cold hand on your skin. Ooh, just makes you tighten up. See my palms just facing each other. And you can start to hold it in the middle. If you're doing this sitting, just the same. You can start to hold it at that point, hands forwards and then going up. That's it. Just getting that little scissoring at the middle. where the arms cross over. Last one. And then we're going to do something for our hips, something outwards. So if you're sitting for this one, shuffle to the side of your chair and hold on to the side. I'm coming forwards a little bit too. This leg's going to stay just where it is, and this leg is going to circle out. You can see I've got my toe just on the floor. It could come off the floor if you feel comfortable doing that, but you might feel more comfortable with your toe just bouncing slightly up and down. If you're standing, helps to have opposite arm moving. See, my foot slightly comes off the floor and then draws a circle, and I'm trying to stand as upright as I can. Now, if you're getting the wobbles, you could use a chair and not worry about the arm movement there. You could do it with the other arm. There's always a solution. So we're just opening out into the hip, getting a bit of opening into the shoulder rotator cuffs. Trying to stand up as tall as we can. Keep that spine lengthened. Couple more this side. And then just give your feet a little march out. That's almost like a little reset. Lets everything recover a little bit. And then we're going for the other side. So I'm just going to start on this one. Now on this side, I'm just showing you how the foot could come a little higher. As long as you can keep your height and not be leaning way over to the side. And we can get the opposite arm going. Trying not to get a big arch in the back as that happens. That would be very comfortable. Trying to engage this bit, so think of that cold hand. I have got quite a cold hand, so I'm not having to imagine it too hard. Could rest your hand here. You could be holding something, and let's see if I can coordinate. Yeah, do this side. So imagine this is my imaginary holding, and then take it down. Just nice and soft in the legs. And then we're going to go for a little side stretch. So just check in with your feet, still with that plank, that paperback book in between them. Going to lean down the side and pull up tall. Lean down the other side, pull up tall. Couple of those. That's it. And then take your arms out in a T sort of shape, but loose. My fingers just slightly downwards. Just going to reach out, but look at this part's staying there. As if I've got something to the side I'm trying to grab. And then back to the centre. Other side, trying to grab it. So it's nice and fluid and flowy at the top and still at the bottom. Might help to have your knees just with a very soft bend so they don't lock back. If you're on the chair, you've got the stability of the base to help you. This is called isolation, when you're just moving one bit and purposefully controlling the other bit. Sometimes we isolate, sometimes we don't want moves. This is a really nice one, so it really gets into your waist and around the muscles around your ribs and sides. I'm just imagining that I'm grabbing something, and then we're going to do that upwards, like you're reaching for something off a shelf or something hanging down. Like we go in the supermarket and you just can't quite get that thing off the top, but instead of going on tiptoes and just trying to get all that stretch here. And you can even breathe into this. Take a breath in when it's stretched and breathe out as that arm comes down. Another breath in and bring it down, and just give feet a little soft march, and then take those hips around in a circle. So we're coming back to remember that pelvic tilt at the beginning that was backwards and forwards. Now we're taking it in a circle. So you can see my bum sticks out a little bit there, and then it tucks under as part of the rotation, and you can see my legs moving. When it comes to go in the other direction, I'll sit on the chair and you can see the difference. So my feet aren't coming off the floor, but you can see my knees are fluid, soft, and my legs are moving backwards and forwards. Right, let's go to the other direction. So I'm going to do it sitting. And you can see my legs moving as I sit. You can see if you just focus on my knees, they don't go up and down so much, but there's definite movement going on. That's it. And we're going to do a little hitch. So for this one, just let the heel come off the floor. It's like you're tightening this bit here on your body. And your hip goes up. And think of the movement coming from here. If I put my hand there, you want the movement coming from this part of your body, not from your foot or your leg lifting up like that. Oh, just a little bit there. Let's do the other side. Don't need many of these. That side doesn't seem to want to move the same. A bit stiffer, I think. We're very rarely completely symmetrical. And then just take the arms forwards. Keep the knees, legs soft. If you're sitting, it's going to be heel raises for this one. Take an elbow back and reach the other hand forward. And the hand that's reaching forwards, that heel's coming off the floor. Come back to the centre. Opposite. So we're doing a sort of bow move, but we're letting everything move with it. So we're not isolating this time. We're just letting the body do these little side turns, little rotations of the spine, but keeping it fairly soft. Just concentrate on that feeling in your feet as we change over. And then if you pause, now keep this still. Let's just move the elbows. So now you're isolating the top half of your body. Now you really have to think on this one. You really have to make this effort to think, yeah, this bit's staying here. This elbow's going back. I'm going to look at it. Bring it forwards again. Take the other elbow back, follow it, but keep that hip. And I'm having to pull back here as this elbow pulls back on the opposite sides. Couple more. And something softer. Figure 8. It's almost like a conducting style move to an imaginary time signature. That's it. Now at the moment we're taking it right out to the sides. The shoulders getting a lot of movement, but you can bring in, just like we started with, the upper body. Don't have to curve and lean back very much. So if you know that that's not great for you, you can stick like this. But if you do like to curve forwards, you can curve a little bit more forwards and then lean a little back. My knees like to stay quite soft with this. So I'm getting a soft curve on my spine, not too much weight going through it, not leaning right over. Remember, you can just do it at the top of your spine and keep it more gentle. If you've got osteoporosis, for example, just keeping it a softer curve, not so much weight going through, it's definitely nicer. And then slow that down and we're going to roll down. So this is a standard roll down. I'm already in the side profile. If you're sitting, take your legs a little bit wider. Head's going back. And just rolling the head down the body, soft knees. Just letting the head and neck hang when you get to that point. And it could just be here. Just trying to get my top out from under my chin. Give your arms very passive circles, like you're stirring 2 pots of soup. And when you're ready, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, use that extra energy in your belly and back to roll yourself back up. So that's if your spine likes quite a lot of movement and you're happy moving like that. Otherwise, take the legs wider, feet outwards. Sit your bottom back, straight back, like this little stool just sitting underneath that. Now tuck your bottom under. And let the rest of your back up here start to round, including up your shoulders and your head, looking down. Push up through your legs. Roll your head up. Ready to go one more time. Tucking under here. You can see my hand just showing that extra tuck, and you keep that tucking feeling. Then start to push through your thighs. And we're up again. And now we're going to take it down to the floor. It might be you roll down one more time to take yourself down there. I'll see you down there. Let's just change the camera angle to get the view of the mat. You might want a cushion under your head. You might be on your bed, but lie back to start with. I've got my cushion here in case I need it, but I don't like a cushion under my head. Not always, anyway. Let's just push the chair in. So you need a bit of space above and space below your feet. But first, have a little wriggle. And don't worry if it's taking you time to get down there, because I've got all the time, it's fine. And you can always take as much time as you need, don't hurry. You can see I'm just wriggling and just getting my back and hips particularly sort of feeling comfortable with lying down, having been standing up. If you're on a bed, it's nice to do this without the duvet. You'll have a firm surface. You want a bit of resistance behind you rather than too much softness. And just checking out my pelvis. Knees together, feet together, and then take the feet out, the heels out, toes forwards. Keep your hands here. Now at the moment, there's a little space behind my low spine, my lumbar spine. I'm going to take a breath in here to the chest and ribs. I'm aiming this breath right to the sides and to the back particularly. I'm going to breathe out and take this pubic bone here upwards, like I'm tilting it towards my nose. Feel the back of your leggings or your trousers pressing into the floor. Feels like your bottom's lifting off the floor a little bit. And then let it roll forwards. So this is the pelvic tilts that we've done a few times now. It's the floor version. Breath into here, particularly the sides and the back. And breathe out. Tilt. We're going to hold it there. Breathe in with it just staying like this, like someone's just lifted your bottom. And slowly breathe out, let it relax. That little space just comes behind your back again. This time we're going to take it up into a bridge or a pelvic curl. People call it different names, it means the same thing. Arms are down by your sides, palms downwards. Take that breath in into the chest, side ribs and back particularly. You might feel your ribs pressing more into the floor. Breathing out, tilting the pubic bone towards the nose, feel your bottom come up. But now we're going to take it up higher. So just peeling it up higher. See that bottom coming up and up? I'm starting to press with my feet. My knees are going forwards. That's it. I'm just going to hold it there a second. Light in the arms. See, I can take my arms off. I can feel the pressure on the back of my shoulders here and my upper ribs. You might be here, that's fine. And then take a breath in. And we're slowly going to roll down, trying to feel each part of our back, just making contact with the mat. Keep your bottom tucked up. And then you get to a point where it has to come down. Now I'm trying to do it as smoothly as possible. There's always a bit that feels a little bit sticky. And it might be if you've got a fusion or anything going on with your back that's changed over the years, or it's just different for you. You might feel it. Some bits go smoothly and some bits don't. We just go with it. Breath in. As you breathe out, pubic bone towards your nose. You're getting that scooping, tilting feeling. Press up with your feet. Coming up to your bridge. And the furthest point would be straight from your knee to your shoulder. That's it. And just hold it there. And if you like, you can bend your arms. Try that. You can try floating your arms. It's a bit harder, that one. You can do a bit of both. That's easier, I think. This longer levers is harder. Oh, that is testing it a little bit. Well done if you managed that. Slowly rolling it down. And now just a little counter stretch. So legs wide, I'm going to grab behind on my thighs and just have a little rock from side to side. It could be here. Some people I see like to cross the ankles. I don't mind, whatever works for you. I'm going really wide on this one. And then take it down again. And imagine I've had my glue out, I've stuck your feet down. Put your hands on your pelvis, a little space behind your back. I want you to try and lift this leg. You can't, I've glued it down. I've glued the sole of your sock, the sole of your shoe, the sole of your foot down. But just trying to lift it up. You can feel the activation going on here. And then take it down. Breath in. Breathing out, trying to keep this really steady and level. Trying to lift the other foot, but it's stuck down. Really try and lift it. It's amazing the effort you can feel when it looks like we're doing nothing. Take it down. This time we are going to lift it up. Breath in. Breathing out. Just take that leg up really, 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 really slow. Long foot. Oh, some clicks and clacks on the way. L-shaped leg. It's a right angle. And then slowly, slowly take it down. Trying to get our foot in the same place. That's it. Toes first. And then that heel's coming down. Peel the heel up on the other foot. Toe last. Take that leg super slow. That's it. L shape again, that 90 degrees. Tabletop legs, often called in Pilates. And that space is just behind my back. What I'm trying not to do is let it pop up like that. See how that's arching away? Don't want that. That's not very comfortable. So you might be pulling back here a little bit. If it feels like it really is popping up, instead of going right up to 90, just take it up a little bit and put it down. And as you get stronger in these muscles, you'll feel more able to control it. It's all about the control. So now it looks like we're being very elegant and slow, but you can feel what's going on. Last one. And again, bring those legs in. And then we're going to roll onto our sides. This is where I do like a cushion. So just rolling on our sides. So I like a cushion between my arm and head. You might like your arm forwards or like that. Just go to what's comfortable. Head, shoulders, back, bottom, feet are in line. Then this leg, just going to take it forwards and back a little. That's it. I'm trying to take the foot a little bit closer to my bottom. So I'm going to start to take the heel. You see my feet are now flexed. Just trying to lengthen here a little bit. My back, I'm trying not to arch it like that, trying to keep it straight. Just a little bit forwards and backwards. And it feels like this other leg, the leg feels okay, but the foot feels like it almost wants to jump off the floor. So press that side of the foot down to the mat. And then we're going to change the direction because we're just going forwards and backwards. Now we're just going to start to circle it. That's it. If you're feeling really unsteady, take this leg further forwards. That will make you feel a little steadier. I'm sure you're feeling it right in here. Last one. And then just pop the legs down, give them a little rub. And then we're going to flip over, put the legs together and just let them flop out a little bit and rock slightly from side to side. I just use the glutes a little bit just to rock and the feet. And then we're going to go to the other side. So you can roll away from me like that, but I'm going to turn around so I can still see through the screen. Get yourself in line. So your feet, your bottom, your back, shoulders and head. And legs in this soft triangle shape, they're stacked on top of each other. We're trying not to lean forwards, roll back, hand to steady. I like to go on my finger pads. And then from here, this leg, we're just taking it forwards and backwards, but starting to flex the toes. That means your toes come towards your knee. And taking your heel just towards your bottom a little bit. You're trying to make it closer. Now, if you've got really stiff knees, it might be like that. That might be all your knee wants to do. If you've got more flexibility, it might be further back. And we're just moving it forwards and backwards, keeping the belly sort of nice and controlled, because that helps keep me on my side where I want to be. And then starting that circle. Now, if this is the point where you start to feel a bit wobbly, first thing you can do is press this foot, this supporting foot I'm tapping, press that into the floor. That can help. Or take this leg forwards and the angle's a bit more open. You're into that 90 degrees again. Now I find on this side it clunks. It's just where a tendon's passing over the bone, just where the tendon attaches to the muscle and it just goes over a bone and it makes a sort of clunk each time. As long as it's not causing you any pain, you're fine. That's it. And pressing down with this leg just to keep me nice and still. I think that's the last one of those. And then I'm going to push up. And we can do just like we did, lying on our backs, that butterfly again. So put the soles of your feet together or towards each other if they don't want to go together. I'm just going to shuffle forwards, coming closer into the feet. And just letting very slight, I don't want to say bounce because I don't want them to like bounce really hard up and down, just easing it up and down, keeping my back super straight. That's it. You can take your hands behind you and just use these leg muscles. And it might be like this. Such big variations in hips and how open they can or cannot be. So don't worry about anybody else's. Just think about what feels right for you. And then you can also round forwards. So if you know that's not good for you, just hinge forwards like that. Just hold onto your feet or your legs and keep the back straight. But if it's okay to round for you, you can nod your head forward, curve your back, pull your belly back a little, and then roll up, arms out by the side. Breath in, take your hands up, have a look at them. Breathe out, bring the hands into the chest. Well done. You've just completed 30 minutes gentle Mobilates, part of Get Moving week. I hope you enjoy everything else during the week. There's so much to do. See you again next week.